Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Trasher Football. Today we're going to discuss the Texas Longhorns 2024 college football schedule now that they're in the SEC. So this is going to be a very, very important schedule prediction right here for Trasher Football. Let's go ahead and crack into it. Week 1, you start off against the Colorado State Rams. Now the Colorado State Rams, they have a lot on their plate this season. You know, last season they looked good against Colorado, but was that really the only team that they really looked good against? The Mountain West is really a dumpster fire outside of Boise State and, Wyoming and San Jose State. I can't remember what Colorado State went last season, but I think that they went 5-7. So this should be a very easy win right here for Texas. So give me a W for Texas right here. They deserve this win right here. Then in week 2, already getting into the meat and potatoes of the college football season in week 2, as you have the Texas Longhorns versus the Michigan Wolverines. 2 playoff teams. Like, I don't understand why people need to be more focused on this game. This is the Big Ten versus the SEC, y'all. You know, this is a Big Ten blue blood and, you know, the new guy to the SEC. Texas has a lot to prove right here. Michigan lost their head coach. They lost J.J. McCarthy. They lost Blake Corum. I mean, you know, Michigan still has talent on the D-line with Graham and Grant. Do give me Texas. I think Texas's offense is going to give them the win. I think that's going to be still really defensive. But I think the Longhorns are going to go on the road. They're going to catch a W in a really close game. Give me Texas by like 4 or 5 points. And then in week 3, you have a pretty easy matchup right here against University of Texas at San Antonio. The good old Longhorns at UTSA. So UTSA's quarterback is no longer there anymore. And so, you know, the hope for UTSA's kind of died down compared to what it has been the last couple of seasons. You know, UTSA last season, they went 9-4. And then the season before, they went 11-3. So they're on the downward spiral. You know, it would be great to pick up a win, you know, in Austin against Texas, but it's not happening. Give me the Longhorns and an easy W right there. And then next game here in week 4, you have the University of Monroe, Louisiana Monroe Warhawks here in Austin. This should also be another easy game. I could very easily see Texas dropping over 50 on UL Monroe. UL Monroe is one of the worst programs in Division I football right now, and they really have been for a while now. Give me Texas by a lot. A lot. And then you have, to open up SEC play in week 5, you have Mississippi State. And this will be in Austin. So, Mississippi State, you know, Mike Leach passed away a couple of years ago. Rest in peace to the GOAT, Mike Leach. Love him to death. And then you hire Zach Arnett, the defensive coordinator. I only think he was there for a season. He didn't work out. He just wasn't it. I think it was pretty obvious it was too late in the season after Mike Leach had passed away to hire a coach. You know, give the job to the coordinator, let him have it for a year, fire him, give it to somebody else. That somebody else happened to be Jeff Lebby, the former offensive coordinator from Oklahoma. Who should know Oklahoma better than Texas? They should understand the offensive scheme. I think Mississippi State's going to be able to drop some points on Texas, but Mississippi State has one of the worst defenses in the SEC. Give me Texas, and they're going to double whatever points Mississippi State puts up on the board. And then here we are, the Red River Rivalry here after the bye week on October 12th. This is a big game every year, you know. Now it's going to be an SEC game. You know, Oklahoma surprisingly beat Texas last season. You know, a lot of celebration for Oklahoma. Oklahoma kind of, I wouldn't say fell off, but, you know, that was a good win for them. They probably weren't the better team that season, but that game, they were the better team. I do think that the fact that Jackson Arnold is coming in as quarterback and Dylan Gabriel has left, you know, Quinn Ewers is staying at Texas, who is very accurate at quarterback. I do think Texas is going to win. It'll probably be close, as it seems to be every season, except for that one year that Texas just blew them out for some reason. Do give me Texas again in this one. And then, buddy. Probably the best game of the season right here on the regular season schedule out of any team. You have the Georgia Bulldogs at the Texas Longhorns. This'll be it. This is going to decide who's probably going to end up going to the SEC championship, and I really wouldn't be surprised if this is a rematch of these two teams later in the season. Georgia is undoubtedly the best team in the SEC, top 3 teams in the country. Give me Georgia to win by a touchdown. This is going to be a very close game. I actually think it's going to be a lot more defensive than a lot of people think. I've seen some people talk about, high-octane offense with Stetson Bennett. I think that's not Stetson Bennett, you stupid idiot. Carson Beck. I keep forgetting Stetson Bennett's with the Rams now. My bad. It's a little slip of the tongue, but do give me Georgia to win this one. This will be really close. I also wouldn't be shocked if Texas won, but my money is on Georgia as of this moment. Then you head into the next week. This should be a pretty easy game right here. You have Texas versus Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's, the worst SEC team. They have been for a while. They will be for a while. Give me Texas by like 4 or 5 possessions. This is an easy game. Although it will be in Nashville, it won't be anything too much of a stop for Texas. And then up next, you have Florida at Texas. The Florida Gators traveling to Austin, and I don't know if this is the first time between these two teams ever playing. Now, I do know that these two teams were supposed to play this year no matter what. Before Texas and Oklahoma joined the SEC, this was supposed to be a out-of-conference, regular season game between the Big 12 and the SEC. Florida's not going to be a good team next year, guys. This game could be close, as a lot of Florida games have been close. They still lost due to mental error and, issues on both the offensive and defensive line. Do give me Texas to win this one. I think they're going to win by 7 to 14 points. 1 or 2 possession game right here. It'll probably be close. Florida's offense hasn't really been high octane for a while. A lot of low scores. I do think that Florida's defense will improve, though. They'll probably hold Texas to 31-30 points, somewhere around there. Do give me the win for Texas. And then up next, you have Texas at Arkansas. And, Arkansas, they lost their quarterback, KJ Jefferson, to the UCF Knights. So that'll be interesting to see how he does at Central Florida. There should be another easy one right here for Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped over 50 on Arkansas, too. Give me Texas to win right here against Arkansas. Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Florida are really the 5 SEC teams that not a lot of people have a lot of hope for next season. But I think one of those teams will surprise us. Arkansas is probably not going to be that. Give me Texas. And then a really interesting one right here. Kentucky at Texas. This will be an interesting one. Let me do some research on this real quick. Yeah, so these two teams have only played each other once, and Texas won, and it was 1951. Kentucky really hasn't been a great team over the last couple of years. They've ended up having some good quality wins and some close games. They've played decent football with Stoops as the head coach, but, I do have Texas winning this one. It'll probably be another one of those close games right there. A trap game at home, I guess is probably the best way to say it. Kentucky's not winning. It'll be close. It'll definitely give a couple of fans a heart attack or two. And then last but not least, you have Texas at Texas A&M. In the Lone Star Showdown, they haven't played since 2011, the season before Texas A&M and Missouri joined the SEC. This is a rivalry renewed, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen this rivalry in what will be 13 years. Texas will go to College Station, and they're going to come in with an ego. And Texas A&M has the opportunity to knock that ego, upside their head. I think what you're trying to get what I'm saying here. This is going to be a really interesting game. Texas A&M has a lot to prove. Texas is coming in there, probably 1 loss on the season. Probably, big ego, we got this. It's just Texas A&M. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. But give me Texas by 1 possession. I wouldn't be surprised if it's by a point or 2, maybe 3. It's going to be a really, really high-octane offensive game right here. Jimbo's gone. It's a new rebuild for Texas A&M. I don't think they're going to do great, but they're going to do better than they have the last couple of seasons. Give me Texas by a couple of points. But at the end of that, that gives us a record of 11-1 for the Texas Longhorns with a only loss to Georgia. And like I said, that could really be a win for Texas due to the fact that it's in Austin. Although I do think that Georgia is the better team. But I would like to see what your guys' opinions are on this schedule prediction right here. I want to know what you guys think Texas will go, and if you have any other schedule predictions that you guys want me to do, please leave them in the comments down below. If you didn't like it, tell me I don't know football, because apparently I don't know football, even though I get paid a lot of money to do this. Anyways, who cares? Love you guys. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later.